He has an incurable disease. Messages of love sent to a group before death. But it was received by Lin Chinking, the school beauty who was about to jump off the building. The affectionate confession in front of her made her heart beat. The school beauty kept repeating Su Feng's name. This person is obviously my classmate. Why do I have almost no impression of him? Thinking that I have never been confessed to, not even a close friend. The school beauty excitedly holds the phone. Someone really likes me. She picked up the phone and replied, okay? Then a gentle expression appeared on his face, fantasizing about a sweet love affair with Su Feng. However, Su Feng replied, sorry, this is a mass post. Someone just agreed. The school beauty looks like she has witnessed her husband cheating on her. She left the rooftop silently. After returning downstairs, he started to curse Su Feng as a shameless bastard. I swear I must find this scumbag, expose him, and give him a slap. So after going to Su Feng's address, got in a taxi, the driver was surprised. Little girl, you don't even know where that is. Why go to the hospital so late at night? The school bell is also very curious. Why did you give me a hospital address? Is it a prank or is he really sick? But now that you're here, she decided to take a look. Unexpectedly, the driver behind me did not leave. Instead, he looked like he was looking at his prey. Bring your brothers to the hospital entrance. I found a good one. It will definitely sell for a good price. At this time, the school beauty's phone rang again. It was as if Su Feng knew he would come in advance. Send the detailed address. Lin Chinking also thought of this at this moment. I really don't care much about my classmates. I didn't even know Su Feng was in the hospital. She took the elevator upstairs and passed by a mysterious man in a black robe. The golden hair under the hat caught Lin Chinking's attention. Is it that woman? At this time, the doctor's voice brought Lin Chinking back to reality. She heard with her own ears that Su Feng only had less than a year left to live. So I walked into the room. The first time I saw this man who confessed his love to me. Don't you want to know what's wrong with me? It's advanced brain cancer. Looking at the bruises on Su Feng's hands left by the acupuncture, the school bell is getting more curious. Why would a seriously ill person do such a thing? Su Feng seems to be able to read minds. Then why did you commit suicide and didn't I save your life? The school beauty pointed at the phone angrily. You call this saving me? Then I felt that Su Feng confessed first and then rejected. Is it just to save yourself? Su Feng raised his phone. I read the school beauty's thoughts again. Actually, I do have a group post. And you have also seen the person who just promised me. I confessed to her face to face. The school beauty thinks Su Feng is such a jerk. You have to apologize to those girls. Su Feng shook his head and apologized. I can help you with another thing. Free you from the nightmares and hallucinations that have haunted you for 10 years. Lin Chinking was stunned after hearing this. It turns out that he hasn't slept since he was 6 years old. As long as you close your eyes, you will face an endless nightmare. Various monsters kept him awake. And recently, the terrible hallucinations have even spread to reality. Why does he know so much about me? Can he really help me get back to normal life? Lin Chinking is full of doubts. What kind of person is this man? Su Feng suddenly proposed. How about we talk somewhere else? How about going to your house? Lin Chinking decisively refused. How can you go home right after meeting someone? Su Feng pointed out the window. I'm afraid you don't have time to think about it. Girl taking a taxi alone, it might attract bad people with bad intentions. As he spoke, he took off his hospital gown. Bring your own umbrella. Pull Lin Chinking and walk out the door. Why do we run? Can't you be discharged normally? Su Feng said that when he was admitted to the hospital. I also sent a confession message to the director of this hospital. Lin Chinking was dumbfounded. The dean is in his 60s anyway. You don't even spare the old lady. The other party is so old. I'm sure you refuse. Su Feng said he agreed. And after being rejected by me, he should want to come to me. At this time, the nurses received the news that Su Feng was missing. Start looking for someone right away. When I passed by the bulletin board, Lin Chinking was surprised to find the dean is actually a young and beautiful girl. Combined with the blonde girl I met before, Lin Chinking doesn't understand. Why do so many girls accept her confession? What is so magical about Su Feng? Just as they were wondering, the driver and a few big men stopped the two of them. Lin Chinking couldn't help but take a step back. Su Feng held her hand motionlessly. Lin Chinking blushed slightly. First confession and first hand holding. It's all with this man. It's quite exciting to think about it. But now is not the time for romance. Several people threatened the two to get in the car with a smile on their faces. I heard the nurses' voices behind me. Lin Chinking thinks quickly, we were just out for a walk. I'm going back to the ward soon. She planned to attract the nurses to help her out, but the driver pulled out his weapon. Little girl, you'd better not make any noise. You don't want your friend to end up in the morgue, do you? Lin Chinking bit her lip, suddenly stood in front of Su Feng. I am not afraid of death, I can go with you. But but you have to let him go, otherwise I'll bring those nurses over here right now. Let him go, but I'm going to rip his tongue first. Gouged out his eyes. Otherwise, the news leaked. Lin Chinking turned around and told Su Feng to run quickly. I was attacked from behind by a bad guy. The driver held Su Feng's head. He was so proud that he wanted to take both of them into the car. As he pushed Su Feng forward, suddenly I found that the boy in front of me was like an unshakable mountain. I couldn't push him, and the next second, Su Feng, who had been expressionless, suddenly laughed. Two white flames flashed in his eyes. He slowly pulled out a thin sword emitting white mist from his umbrella. Then I heard a sword whistle, from shoulders to ribs. The driver was easily killed by a sword. Looking at the driver who landed with a thud, everyone is stupid. Black clothes and white eyes holding a rapier. Even with blood all over his face, he still showed no emotion. Lin Chinking was stunned. Su Feng threw the weapon into his hand. Pull the person and run to the car. Don't do such dangerous things again. Remember, you are safe with me. Lin Chinking was terrified. How can you kill someone, even if they are bad guys? You can't put yourself in it. Su Feng said that I didn't kill a human being. He asked the girl to look out the window. The driver's body was covered with tentacles. Soon the broken body stood up again. See, I was right. The resurrected driver stared at the two men. Su Feng stepped on the accelerator and drove away from the scene. Lin Chinking asked him in shock. What is that? Su Feng did not explain. Just mentioned other keywords, interface and investigator. It turns out that the interface exists in a space outside the real world. There are all kinds of strange creatures and forbidden objects in it. Investigators are professionals who explore the boundaries. The driver just now was a subordinate of a certain investigator. Looking at the unfathomable Su Feng, Lin Chinking is full of questions. I am a level for investigator. The rapier is a forbidden item called the Pale Staff. Lin Chinking was speechless for a moment. This guy really read my mind again. He also gave the answer in advance. At the hospital entrance, the driver has killed his companion. He stole a car and chased after it. Nurses chirped clues to the police. I didn't notice the two figures high up, observing the situation below. When another investigator shows up, the black robe on the girl gradually turned into ashes. It turns out that she is the special investigator known as the Earth Sun. Cao Yingzhang ordered his men to secretly protect Su Feng. If you can't solve it, let me know immediately. After saying this, he turned into a golden light and disappeared into the night sky. The investigator didn't understand. Su Feng is only at level 4, the High Lord Cao. Why do you need me a level 2? To protect him, his colleague had a bold idea. Do you think Lord Cao is really in love? How could Lord Cao be attracted to such a young boy, and that kid won't live long? I must be feeling sympathy for him after chatting. The two went their separate ways. At this moment, Su Feng has already entered the highway and still stepping on the accelerator, passed by a top sports car. How come I can't outrun a taxi? Honey, didn't you say your supercar cost over 5 million? Don't say anything, I'll return the car tomorrow. Lin Chinking held a bag and vomited for a long time, panting and asking Su Feng if he couldn't drive slower. Su Feng asked him to look in the rearview mirror. A black car is approaching slowly. The resurrected driver in the car had blood all over his face. Still with a crazy smile, if you slow down. We're about to be caught up, watching 3 police cars roaring over. Lin Chinking was surprised. We drove so fast. How did this driver catch up? Su Feng praised a good question. His eyes were on the phone next to him. Throw this out, there is a tracker inside. Lin Chinking stopped. I'm worried that doing so will cause a car accident, hurting innocent people. There's a safe place to throw it later. I'll tell you then. This thought was read by Su Feng again. The two soon arrived at the intersection where the checkpoint was set up. Looking at the upturned road ahead, Lin Chinking was a little nervous. Wait, you should turn now. What turn? Are you planning to drive straight through? Are you crazy? While talking, Lin Chinking saw. Su Feng's face once again showed a beautiful and crazy smile. He shut his mouth wisely. A dying person, a suicide attempt. In this boring world, it seems nice to do some crazy things together. The car broke through the guardrail with a click. Lin Chinking silently fastened her seatbelt. In Su Feng's countdown of 321, the car flew from the road into the bright moonlight. Throw away your phone now. At the same time, gunfire broke out from behind. The bullet went through the car window with perfect accuracy. The driver opened fire. As the car landed, several police cars chased after it. Lin Chinking was still thinking about whether to stop the car and ask for help. Turning around, I saw Su Feng's arm was soaked in blood. You are injured. We need to deal with it quickly. Care about me. Why should you care about a scumbag who plays with your feelings? Lin Chinking blushed and turned her head away. I don't want to admit my little thoughts, but the police car behind me is chasing me. It has become a 3-sided siege. Lin Chinking closed her eyes and thought, Is there really no way out? Suddenly he opened his eyes and pointed to the alley beside him and said, "Go that way. This road is very difficult to walk. Not only need good driving skills, I also need Su Feng to trust me 100%. Once you miss the intersection, you can't turn in." Su Feng did not hesitate at all while turning the steering wheel. Adrift into the alley, the car door rubbed sparks. Finally got rid of the tracking behind me. He pulled a wire from under the steering wheel, then let Lin Chinking get off the car. "What are you drawing?" A little message to those stalkers and a little surprise. As he spoke, he did not forget to touch the car body with the pale staff. At this moment, Su Feng suddenly noticed someone watching from a distance. It turned out to be the uncle who had been secretly protecting her. Did this guy discover me? The uncle took out Su Feng's file and studied it carefully. Career guide. Forbidden's pale staff. No results so far. No matter how you look at it, it's just an ordinary level for rookie. And the banned items are also very common. It only has 2 abilities, turning into a sharp sword and igniting objects. How could Lord Cao let me protect such a person? Etc. Ignite. Recalling Su Feng's actions just now, the uncle showed a surprised expression. At this moment, the driver chased after me with blood all over his face. His employer repeatedly stressed that Lin Chinking must be caught. It doesn't matter what happens to Su Feng, but when he caught up with them, they had already run away. Where's the fuck? The smiling face on the car window, the driver lose his guard on the spot. He roared and shattered the smile. The broken glass ignited the wires below. With a loud bang, the taxi exploded on the spot. The driver who had a second life was also destroyed into flames. The loud noise made Lin Chinking look back. Isn't that where we parked? Yes, a person cannot be resurrected twice. It was not until now that Lin Chinking realized, I actually brought home a strange boy I had only met once. He could not have imagined that the thin boy in front of him. It is a terrifying existence that even God fears. Lin Chinking asked him about his gunshot wound. I think I need to go back to the hospital, otherwise the wound may have healed. After saying that, he burst out laughing. Then he stood up and walked to the bookshelf, talking about Lin Chinking's father. The girl fell into memories when her father was mentioned. My father is old-fashioned, serious. I like to collect all kinds of books. As a child, he fell in love with painting, and every time I finish a painting, my father will laugh out loud. That was the time I am determined to draw something that will impress my father. But then my father passed away. He also fell into a long nightmare. Su Feng's expression became serious. Do you really know him? Of course. His name is Lin An, a professor of history. No, his code name is Sailor. A professional scholar who is a special investigator. Also serves as the key holder of the storage room. Only the master of the storage room knows this identity. Lin Chinking was surprised. Because special investigators are 1 in a million strong, the country also published a list. The Xiaozhou is the strongest investigator organization in the world. My father never said this. Let's find the answer in the book. Su Feng asked Lin's father what his favorite book was. Finally locked eyes. 1001 Nights I read to my daughter every night. Lin Chinking is still shaking her head. Such an important clue cannot be hidden in a fairy tale book. But the next second, the mechanism on the bookshelf is activated. A dark and hidden door appeared in front of the 2 people. Looks like we found it. Lin Chinking followed Su Feng holding a book. If you're scared, will you hold my hand? Lin Chinking felt warm in her heart, but I remembered the previous rejection. Snorted, said he wanted to go alone, but as the surroundings get darker, he still ran towards Su Feng in a hurry, grabbing his clothes. The 2 looked at each other in silence, holding their phones and began to explore. Along the way, Su Feng told Lin Chinking, your nightmares are related to the forbidden items your father brought back, because these border objects will affect people's spirit. And now we're about to meet him. In the endless darkness, there is an ordinary lantern. Lin Chinking walked forward. Until this moment, he didn't believe it. My father is really an investigator. The lantern in front of me is the cause of my suffering. But as his hand touches the lamp cover, a flame shot up into the sky. Lin Chinking quickly retreated back into Su Feng's arms. The flame also transformed into a tall giant. Human, make your wish, in Lin Chinking's surprised eyes. Su Feng took 1001 nights. Lantern shape and function is to make a wish. So he is the jinn you are familiar with. And as long as this border creature is sent back to its original place, your life will return to normal. Then, according to tradition, make 3 wishes and set the genie free. Seeing that the 2 of them didn't take me seriously at all, the genie is angry. You actually treated me like that blue skin trash. I am the real god. He roared and hit Su Feng's back. However, Su Feng suddenly turned around. The eyes not only changed to vertical pupils, several rounds of fine scales appeared at the corners of the eyes. For a moment, the genie felt as if he were being stared at by death. When Lin Chinking noticed the movement behind, he was already hugging the lamp in grievance, not daring to move. What happened to him? I don't know, maybe I miss home. The lamp god is in pain. I am a god-level creature in the interface. I didn't expect that the other party was actually a being more terrifying than God. Lin Chinking stretched out her finger, sympathetically asked how to send the little genie back. Make 3 wishes and I will be free. You can go home. Originally, the lamp god could take advantage of human greed, unlimited self-development, but now he really wants to go home. Because the human in front of me is too scary. Lin Chinking holds up the lamp god. Can you cure him? This wish made Su Feng's eyes widen, because Su Feng's illness is not as simple as brain cancer. So when Lin Chinking made a wish to the lamp god to cure her illness, even if the interaction between the two is very sweet and happy, but the lamp god still said, sorry, this wish cannot be fulfilled. He looked at the innocent and anxious girl, then he looked at Su Feng who had no expression on his face. There are some things I dare not say after all. Su Feng didn't have brain cancer at all. But tens of thousands of mythical creatures? The curse placed on him before the boundary was destroyed. Compared to these terrible myths, even a powerful genie is just a fairy tale. Lin Chinking is a little disappointed. She rubbed Su Feng's head. I'm sure I'll find another way. Don't treat me like a child. Su Feng was also helpless to lift the curse. He made a special plan to make group speeches. This is just the first step. Now they both have to go. Because after the door of the secret room is opened, the breath of the lamp god will attract the attention of others. Next to the taxi that just exploded, a man in white has arrived at the scene. He can use the Forbidden's puppet worm to control others and have an additional chance to revive. He is determined to obtain the special Forbidden's item like the lamp god. On the other side, two people have come out of the secret room. Lin Chinking is curious about what we should do next. Should we notify the storage room? Su Feng shook his head. The genie can help people realize 3 wishes, but once the wish is fulfilled, it becomes useless scrap metal. Do you think that once such treasures are handed over, is there still a chance to wish for a normal life? Before you make a wish, we have to deal with all our enemies ourselves. As they were talking, the doorbell rang. Su Feng made a gesture to keep quiet, let him open the door, while Lin Chinking was covering from behind. However, when the door handle was turned, the person who came was obviously beyond Su Feng's expectations. You are Su Feng. It's not the enemy that's coming, but the older sister in black silk and white coat. Lin Chinking quickly put her hands behind her back. This woman is the hospital director Elvie Mingyu. You don't seem to welcome me, of course I can understand. Mingyu's eyes turned to Lin Chinking. She said she wasn't looking for trouble. I just want to see which girl stole my boyfriend. Lin Chinking is a little disappointed. She's only second, but I heard that it was you who took Su Feng away. Don't you want to be responsible for your actions? Genius cartoonist Miss Lei Hu, seeing Lin Chinking silent, Lu Mingyu looked at Su Feng again. Judging from your reactions, does that mean I still have a chance? He came up to Su Feng, hold up his face and look at it carefully. Since you sent a text message to confess, you should know my identity. Su Feng quickly went through Lu Mingyu's message in his mind. He is the daughter of the Lu Group. The Lu family has close cooperation with the Babel Foundation, a top force in the investigation border. It turns out that money speaks volumes. Lu Mingyu is like a domineering female president. He wants Su Feng to be his man. The Babel Foundation can help him treat cancer. How about you think about it? Because of the Black Silk sisters' flirting behavior, Lin Chinking was so jealous that she pulled out her gun. He put his hands behind his back and pointed out that Lu Mingyu was just deceiving the little boy. The Lu family and the foundation are just partners. You don't have the right to let them take action. I forgot that the outside world doesn't know yet. I just became a member of the Babita Foundation yesterday. Internal qualifications are just a phone call away. Lu Mingyu stuck her whole body to Su Feng. This man is determined to win. This is the first time I've been played like this in my life. Mass confession, you're so stupid. Seeing the two getting closer, Lin Chinking couldn't help it. He raised his weapon and pointed it at Lu Mingyu's head. You are excellent. Lu is also very powerful, but now your life is in my hands. Lu Mingyu slowly stepped back. He asked Lin Chinking to calm down. Think about your family. Thank you for your concern. I am an orphan, but even so, Lu Mingyu still didn't give in. I never regret the decisions I made. Don't let others make me a joke, so I must make you change your mind. Lin Chinking didn't expect the other party to be so stubborn. Look at that scumbag Su Feng who played with their relationship. Suddenly, I feel like the original wife who chased away the rival. But at this moment, Su Feng suddenly spoke. Since your conflicts cannot be reconciled, then shoot. The two women were shocked at the same time. Lin Chinking almost doubted her ears. But Su Feng's expression became extremely scary. If you still want to get rid of the nightmares that haunt you, I want to go back to normal life. Then do as I say. Lin Qingqing was in a difficult situation. If Su Feng can absolutely trust me, then I can. He yelled sorry. The bullet spun out of the muzzle. However, Su Feng threw Lu Mingyu to the ground. Watching the bullet passing by, Lu Mingyu was terrified. Then I heard a bang. Su Feng hugged him and fell to the ground. The bullet pierced the forehead of Lu Mingyu's driver. The driver tilted his head and muttered, "How is it possible?" Then a puppet worm crawled out of his mouth. "Are you okay?" Su Feng looked down. I found that Lu Mingyu's face was full of excitement. Love, death, and Waldong. Everything that happened in just a moment was so exciting. Su Feng stood up somewhat awkwardly. Lu Mingyu then discovered the injury on his arm. After simple bandaging, Lu Mingyu suddenly took out a scalpel. He said he wanted to settle the score for killing the driver. Lin Qingqing has reacted at this moment. Su Feng must have a reason for doing this. The most likely problem is the driver. In order to prevent Lu Mingyu from misunderstanding, he wanted to explain. As a result, the other party put a knife on his neck. Lin Qingqing was speechless. "Are you mistaken? I didn't give the order to fire?" He explained in a gibberish. Lu Mingyu finally understood. "So you're not the first person to agree to confess." Lin Qingqing was speechless again. "Sister, you missed the point. On the other side." Through the puppet worm's vision, the man in white has locked down 3 people. His puppet army has been assembled. It's time to put an end to this night. 2 girls like the same boy even fought for him. However, the next second Lin Qingqing and Lu Mingyu, they became good sisters who shared the same hatred and enemies. Just because Su Feng, this scumbag, is so rude, what are you fighting for? Anyway, you were all rejected by me. What's the fuss? After saying that, only a cool back figure was left. The 2 women exchanged glances. Are you thinking the same thing as me now? Yeah, let's get him together. Lin Qingqing holds the lamp and prepares to attack from behind. Suddenly I found that the situation in the car was very strange. The driver who was just shot dead. A small black worm came out of his mouth. The magic lamp whizzed out of the furnace. After catching the puppet worm, he started chewing it. Su Feng's came over and gave a serious science popularization. This is a 3rd level Forbidden's puppet worm. The mother insect reproduces and the daughter insects possess. A living person can be resurrected once if possessed. For example, the previous driver. If a dead person is possessed, he will become a puppet of the owner. For example, this victim. Theoretically, as long as the queen is not dead, the number of puppet worms is infinite. What now? Lin Qingqing was very anxious. Lu Mingyu saw from his face, this girl has already regarded Su Feng as her own. The reason why he accepted Su Feng's confession was rather cliché. It's purely because my family is urging me to get married. After seeing Su Feng's photo, I think this little boy is good. Plus, he took the initiative to confess. This is how it stuck. However, Su Feng himself does not look like the photo at all, neither shy nor ordinary. Recalling the scene when he held me in his arms and dodged the bullets, Lu Mingyu couldn't help but blush. So when Su Feng proposed to drive away, he suddenly shouted, "Don't move, you almost broke your arm. If it bumps against it again, it might break." According to LV Mingyu's idea, Su Feng will definitely avoid my concern with a sharp tongue. Who knew he just said, "Oh, turning around." He said gently, "Do you want to check it for me again?" This guy's gentle and well-behaved appearance is too touching. No, as an excellent woman, I can't be manipulated like this. The 2 began a small interaction of a female doctor examining a male patient. As a result, Lin Qingqing intervened. "Shouldn't we be thinking about how to break out now?" Su Feng said, "Don't think about it, because the enemy is here." The 3 turned their heads and looked. A bunch of neighbors, led by a yellow-haired man, slowly gathered around. They drew their weapons. It's obvious that they are a puppet army being controlled. When the 2 women were wondering how Su Feng would react, but he actually squatted on the ground with his hands on his head, seeing that the scumbag is unreliable. The 2 girls also followed suit, discussed with each other what to do. "Don't you have a jinn? Please make a wish to solve the problem." "But if the magic lamp is in my hand, so how come I hold my head with both hands now?" Lin Qingqing then noticed that she was holding Su Feng's umbrella. The magic lamp was stuffed into the car. It turns out that Su Feng's initial rude behavior to steal the magic lamp. He knew that the magic lamp was more important than Lin Qingqing. Then more puppet soldiers will approach the car. So don't be fooled by Huang Mao's arrogant and complacent look. In fact, he has stepped into the trap set by Su Feng. Sure enough, Lin Qingqing was obedient on the surface, but suddenly opened the umbrella, shot from the back and hit the 2 puppet soldiers next to him. Lu Mingyu was not to be outdone. He lifted his long legs and kicked the enemy in the face. I've practiced it, too. And just when Huang Mao reacted, there was another explosion behind me. In a burning car, the figure of the lamp god is rapidly expanding. At this time, Su Feng slowly stood up. Should I say you are stupid, or is it too arrogant? I actually let those puppets easily approach the objects I touched. He waved the scalpel and said slowly, "Okay, now it's for versus 1.